Good morning, welcome to Tristar Diggin. I appreciate you joining us today. We've got a little project to take care of today. Got a barnyard, a barn that's flooding when it rains. The water's coming off the roof and getting into the area there and then flooding back into the barn where the cattle are and where they're feeding at. So we got to take care of that. First things first, we've got to go get a couple loads of rock hauled to the job site. So we'll see you at the quarry. We'll get this loaded up and get these 2 loads dropped off and get to work. That first load going in that box is kind of loud. I had my earmuffs on the way. I don't know why I didn't just put my headphones on. Old Bill, he's a good one. He's one of the best loader operators they've got here. Bill is a good one. He knows how to load a truck.
Thank you, Sammy.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. All right, Bill's got us loaded up. We'll pull around here and call the scale master on the phone, and they'll weigh us and get us all fixed up, get us a ticket. This rock quarry here, they used to have a scale master on site in the building there, but now then they've gone to a telephone system. You call them, you pull on the scales and tell them what you got. Of course, it's all camera system, they can see who's pulling on. They'll weigh you, and then you pull up here to a box and pick up a ticket. So we'll go through the process of that as I'm pulling on here and see how that works. So as I'm pulling on the scales here, I will get Nikki on the phone. Hey Nikki, I got number 3s again. Have you decided if you're gonna take this old dog down there at the office or not? He would love it. He likes to be petted all day long. All right, we've been weighed and we pull up here to this scale, what used to be the scale house. And now it's just an automated station here with a camera and a box that prints off the tickets. So we'll get our ticket out of this box right here and then get that taken care of. So what we do is reach up here and we got 4 tickets. I keep 2 tickets and I'll leave them 2 tickets. We just put that right back in their little mailbox right there. Find this old truck of gear and give it a little bit of fuel, and we are gone. Missed a gear. I'll learn how to drive this old truck one day. site, we got one load of rock staged right there. Our work's going to take place right in this area right here where we got a lot of flood and issues with the barn flooding. Got another load of rock, that first load I dropped over there staged in case I need some more. I don't think I will, but anyway, that's there, and they got an extra load to work around here at the farm if they need it. We'll take the dump truck back home and pick up the Mini X and the skid steer, and we'll come back and we'll talk about this project and we'll get it started. Okay, I come over here to the job site where I'm building that retaining wall in the background there that you see, and but I gotta have this equipment for today. I gotta pull off this job for now, and I've got the skid steer and the Mini X loaded up now. I get those strapped down and we'll get over there to the farm and get that job taken care of. And there's rain coming, 3 or 4 o'clock today. I've got to beat that, and I'm thankful that rain is coming too. Let's get out of here. We finally got the equipment here and got the rock here, so we are ready to get started. Let's take just a minute here and talk about what we're going to do. And the issue is water. The issue of the water is coming off this roof. It's coming down, hitting right here and soaking this ground, and really basically just ponding up. And then the water, as it builds up here, is running back into the barn and getting in behind the trailer and working its way over into the hay, into the barn. So what we're going to do is up there where the tripod is, that's the low point that I'm going to shoot for. And I'm going to cut a grade down from that tripod area down into here, and I'll get the laser out in a minute and see where it's going to come out at. Just basically build a swell right here to catch the water coming off of that roof, and then take that 2-inch rock, we call number 3s around here, and line that swell with it, so when water comes off, it's not making a river or a trench in that ditch. It'll hit that rock, and then it'll work its way out and come on down here out into the field. So we'll just take this dirt that's that in there that I dig out, we'll bring it down here on the back side of this little hump, spread that out real nice, make it look good. And this shouldn't take too long. The sun's out now, but they are calling for some rain this evening, so let's get busy on this and see what we can get done. Okay, a little update now. I got the laser out, shot a little bit of grade, and starting from that point at the foot of the laser down to that almost to the last post, that's a 2% fall to get us down to there. And at the deepest part of the ditch would be right in here where it's the highest, and right in there would have about a foot swell, which that'll be good. It'll be tapered on both sides, and line that with rock, and it should work just fine. And the first thing I'm gonna do is come into here and dig all this stuff out, because this is a stinky situation right here. That's nasty. That's gonna stink bad, especially when I start digging in it. But I want to get all that cleaned out of there first, so I'm not tracking through that. And let's cast that stuff out of here, and we'll get down to some dry ground right there and start digging our trench in. boy, I'm telling you right there, that stuff right there is ripe. Oh, woo! I tell you right now, you don't want that stuff to splatter on you. Get that in your teeth, that'll be bad. Get a wad of that in your teeth, you wouldn't forget it. Look out. Can y'all smell that? Good. We got us a good swell cut down through there now. All that water is going to drain this way, which is going to be great. I've got to get this dirt out of the way first, and then I'm going to come back and run the excavator up through there and just kind of slope off that bank that's going up the edge of the barn, and then create a little swell right there. And then this, I'm just going to take the skid steer and run down through there and clip this back and kind of slope that off into here. I've got a good idea with this red clay right here. There's some good red clay that come out of there. That is some good stuff to pack. And Thomas and I were talking about this watering system right here, how that had eroded out around the edge of it there. That is going to be an excellent place to put that clay. I'm going to bring that down here and put it in here and pack that in real good. And then I'll take some rock and put over the top of that, and that'll fix that right there pretty good. Let's get after it. I will get this clay put down here first, and we'll take a look at that while I'm doing that. And then we'll get the rest of this cleaned up. worked out real nice. What I'm gonna do with that side over there is erode it out as well. I've got some more clay. I'm gonna bring it down here and just pile it up in this area right here. And if he wants to later, he's got a tractor and also got a little bobcat. He can do the same thing over there. So I'll bring the rest of that clay right here and get that knocked out, and then we'll start sloping these banks back. I got all this material cleaned up now on that side and went ahead and put it over there in my spoil pile, and I'll straighten all that out once I get the rest of this in there. Now then, what I want to do is come down along this edge right through here and just kind of put a little gentle slope on that, just so it's not steep stepping off in there, and then we'll work on pulling this back. Okay, we are making some really good progress now. I've got all that sloped and got it tapered up to the left there and got it shaped back to the right. Inside the barn there, I can't do much with this right here because of that fence, and I didn't want to mess too much with that and cause that fence to erode. Anyway, I got this shaved back in there now, and that looks pretty good. And it's time for rocks. I'm gonna line this little swell here with rock, get that in there real good. And also I got the spoil pile all smoothed out just a second ago, and put all that stuff in there and just kind of work that back and forth. Got that looking pretty good. You talk about growing some grass now, that's 90% poop right there and a little bit of dirt, so that'll be nice. Anyway, let's get this rock in here and get it smoothed up, and I think that's going to take care of it, except for I can't stand it. I can't leave here without flying the drone down that silo and coming out that little chute right there. So we're going to do that before I leave. Okay, we are making some progress now. We got the rock in there looking good. I don't think Thomas and Leslie will be too mad at me for fixing that right there. Got that clay packed in there real good and put rock on it. So that one's fixed. I'm sure he'll probably want to fix that one over there like I mentioned with that clay that I've got piled up right there. Now then, we'll take a look at this swell as we got it made in there. I got rock all the way up into here and rock up inside the barn. Now one thing about this rock is over time the cow manure and the dirt and mud from barn use is going to cover this rock. But the thing about the rock is it establishes a base for this area so it won't get so muddy and this rock will go down into the ground. Also, it will catch the rain coming off of the roof there and give it a place to hit without creating erosion and creating a river down through there. So the spoil pile's looking good. It's dressed up nice. That is done, and pretty much everything is done now except for flying the drone inside that silo. I am going to do a little drone flight here, and we're going to see what happens. Fly around the area here and just kind of fly over the job, and also the silo. What I'm going to try to do is come in that silo from the top and fly down, and there's a hole right there for the old chute come out, and we're going to try to come out right there. We'll see what happens. All right, well, you saw me come out of there, and I tried to go back in, was going to go up, but I hit the side of the silo there. For some reason, when I was trying to go back in, when I got right here to the side, it couldn't balance itself. It just kept going back and forth between the two walls. Coming out, it did fine. But anyway, we are done. Let's look in this silo now, way up to the top. All right, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and that was a fun little job. It was a smelly little job. I've got a job cleaning up machines, get that smell off of them. Probably just let that wire off though. So I appreciate you watching. God bless. Stick around for the message if you will. And by the way, no drone was damaged in the filming of this video. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that smelly little video there. It's a good thing we don't have smell-o-vision in this world, because I would have cranked the smell-o-vision up to 10 for y'all on that one. Man, that was pretty rough. And the machines, they're still pretty rough themselves. And it's been probably been a week and a half or so since I recorded that video. And today I'm recording this part actually on Thanksgiving Day of 2023. So I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and a blessed Thanksgiving. And I'm very thankful for the folks who participate in this channel and growing the channel and viewing, subscribing and liking and commenting. I really appreciate that. The first year was boy, it was rough. Growth was painfully slow and it was hard to get the videos out. But in this last year, you guys have really ramped it up, and I am very thankful for what you're doing to support this channel. So I want to say that first and foremost. And also a time of Thanksgiving, a day that we celebrate today. We celebrate a lot of things of freedom in this country, the many blessings that we have, family and friends and work, and all the things that we have to be thankful for and be appreciative of. And that's not just today, it's really all year round. Every single day there ought to be a desire and a heart of thanksgiving for what we have and what God has blessed us with. And that's the message I want to bring to you today is about Thanksgiving, about being thankful to God for all the things He's done for us. And at the end of this, I'll tell you what I'm really thankful for, most of all the things I've already mentioned. But in the message today, we want to talk about Thanksgiving, and where I want to come from is in Psalms 100, verse 4 and 5. And it says this: "Enter into His gates with thanksgiving and into His courts with praise. Be thankful to Him and bless His name, for the Lord is good. His mercy is everlasting, and His truth endures to all generations." I want to take that apart verse by verse there and talk about each one of those things briefly. And the first one, it says, enter into His gates with thanksgiving and into His courts with praise. When the Bible's talking about there the gates and the courts, it's talking about that's talking about the temple area back in the day when this was written. So it's talking about there coming into the presence of God, coming into His presence, and to be thankful for what He's done for us. That's what that's talking about there when it says come into His courts and into the gates. And in the second part of that, it says, be thankful to Him and bless His name, for the Lord is good. We ought to be a blessing. Not only be a blessing back to God, but be a blessing to the other people that God puts in our life, that we can be a witness to those people about who Jesus Christ is. And that we're to be thankful for that. And the last part of that says, and the Lord is good. Listen, there's a lot of good things in the world that we attribute as good, but the only thing that is truly good in this world and in all of eternity is God. And there are some good things in this world, and things we can be appreciative of and consider those things good, but ultimately it's God who is ultimately and supremely good. And we ought to acknowledge that and be a blessing to the Lord, as this scripture would tell us to be. And then the last part of that, and I'll finish with this, it says, His mercy is everlasting, and His truth endures to all generations. His mercy is everlasting. God's mercy, His grace is eternal. It always has been, and it always will be. And in the last part of that, it says that His truths endure to all generations. You know, some people say, well, God's word and God's truth was applicable to generations long ago, or maybe in the Old Testament, or maybe in the first part of the church, but it's not necessarily true for today. The scripture says it's for all generations, meaning from the first generation to the very last generation that's ever been in this world, that will ever be in this world, is God's mercy and His truth and His love is for all the generations. So I want to end by saying this. I'm simply most thankful for in my life is the salvation that I have through Jesus Christ. That hope is based on the sacrifice that Jesus made and the forgiveness that I have of my sins by placing my faith and trust in Him. So I hope that you've done that today. I hope that you've placed your faith and trust and hope in Him. That way that you have a home eternal in the heavens. Most important decision you'll ever make in your life is to place your faith and trust in Him. So God bless you and have a blessed Thanksgiving.